What if I told you that the street you live on, the one you walk down every day, was once the hunting ground of a predator so powerful, so terrifying, it could take down animals 5 times its size? Picture this, a 600-pound beast cloaked in muscle, silently stalking through the tall grass, waiting, not chasing, waiting. And when the moment was right, it struck with jaw-dropping precision. I'm talking about a creature with 11-inch dagger-like teeth that could pierce through bone like butter. This isn't science fiction. This isn't a scene from a monster movie. This is real. Saber-toothed cats, like SMILODON fatalis, once roamed the exact land you live on today. Your city, your neighborhood, your backyard, all of it was part of their domain. So before you shrug it off as just another prehistoric tale, listen closely, because the fossils don't lie, and the truth is more chilling than you think. Let's start with where they lived. SMILODON fatalis, the most iconic saber-toothed cat, wasn't tucked away in some far-off, uninhabited wilderness. These cats thrived across what we now call North America, especially the United States. Fossil evidence places them in modern-day Los Angeles, Dallas, Orlando, New York, and even parts of Nebraska. That means entire cities today are built right on top of their old hunting grounds. Thousands of fossilized remains have been unearthed beneath office buildings, parking structures, and suburban neighborhoods. In California's La Brea tar pits alone, over 2,000 individual saber-tooth fossils have been found, and that's just one site. Florida has its own tar pit hotspots, and the Central Plains were perfect terrain during the Ice Age. It's not a stretch to say these cats once ruled from coast to coast. When you think of the Ice Age, don't imagine frozen wastelands. Think of rolling grasslands, thick forests, and herds of massive prey. And right behind them, lurking, the saber-toothed cat. These weren't your average cats. SMILODON fatalis was a tank. Short, stocky, and impossibly strong. It had a powerful build with a wide chest, thick neck, and massive forelimbs. Those traits weren't for speed, they were for brute force. Unlike cheetahs or leopards, SMILODON didn't need to chase its prey across long distances. It would hide in brush or tall grass, wait patiently, and ambush at the perfect moment. When it attacked, it used those giant saber teeth not to rip and tear, but to deliver fatal bites to soft, vulnerable areas, like the neck or belly. Its jaws could open nearly 120 degrees, far wider than modern cats, to make room for its enormous canines. But that's not all. Paleontologists now believe they may have hunted in coordinated packs like lions. They found fossil beds where multiple individuals died together, suggesting a social structure. And with that much muscle and those kinds of weapons, a group of them could even bring down a mammoth or giant bison. This was nature's perfect ambush predator. Quiet, calculated, and absolutely deadly.
Saber-toothed cats may look like kitty vampires, but they might have used their fangs for something way worse. A recent study of 2 SMILODON skulls from Argentina found that each had a mysterious hole in their foreheads, right between the eyes. The paleontologists ruled out decay and disease as the cause of the hole, which left them with a large animal as the possible culprit. Based on the shape of the hole, it didn't really match what they'd expect for an injury caused by a kick to the head by a hoofed animal, the claws of a giant ground sloth, or a bite from a bear or a wolf. But it did match the size and shape of the upper canines of SMILODON itself. So it looks like this saber-toothed cat could bite through the skull bones of other members of its species, essentially stabbing them in the head with its fangs.
Here's the part that might truly blow your mind. Many of us are literally living above fossil graveyards. Beneath the asphalt of LA traffic, under city parks and suburban homes, lie the bones of these ancient killers. The La Brea tar pits alone have yielded over 2,000 saber-toothed cat skeletons. Full skeletons. That's not including fragments, teeth, or isolated bones. And when scientists examine these remains, they don't just see bones, they see stories. Some skeletons show evidence of trauma, broken limbs, shattered ribs, even bite marks from other predators. But more fascinating are the signs of healing. a shattered leg bone that refused over time, cracks in skulls that show regrowth, injuries that would have made hunting impossible unless someone helped them survive. This points to social behavior. These cats may have lived in groups, protected their injured, and shared food. That's not just a predator. That's a pack, a family. Think about that. Beneath the city you live in, under malls and freeways, lies proof of a world where massive, saber-toothed cats once lived, not just as hunters, but as communities. And now, the question everyone wants to ask: can they come back? It sounds like science fiction, but we are closer to this than you think. Scientists today are actively working on de-extinction projects. Mammoths, dodos, even woolly rhinos. Using genetic engineering tools like CRISPR, researchers are editing the DNA of modern relatives to recreate extinct genomes. And here's where it gets real. SMILODON DNA has been found, especially in preserved remains from colder environments. If even partial genetic blueprints are intact, we could, in theory, edit the DNA of a modern big cat, like a tiger or lion, to bring back something shockingly close to a saber-tooth. It wouldn't be an exact replica, but it would be genetically similar enough to bring the species back in a biopreserved or controlled lab environment. Think of Jurassic Park, but grounded in actual science. It's controversial, it's dangerous, and yet it's happening. We could be the generation that witnesses the return of a predator that vanished over 13,000 years ago. Not in a movie, not in a book, in real life. All of this sounds unbelievable until you remember that it's already happened before. 13,000 years ago, these apex predators ruled the Americas. And not in some far-flung jungle or frozen tundra. Right here, where your house is, where your school is, where you walk your dog. The bones buried beneath our feet are proof of that ancient, brutal world. So the next time you're outside, take a moment to really look around. That sidewalk, that driveway, it might sit atop an ancient battleground, a place where SMILODON fought, hunted, and died. And now that scientists are unlocking genetic secrets and reviving long-lost species, maybe it's not so crazy to ask, what if they return? What if the past isn't gone, just waiting? If this blew your mind, give it a like and subscribe to Exhilarating Discoveries. We bring you the stories that challenge everything you thought you knew about history, science, and the world around you. New videos drop every week. Tap the bell and never miss the next discovery.